So I spent all our money on one grocery shop. We budget $265 a week, and I spent $264.50. It's a big shop. It's a really good shop. I haven't done a big shop for ages. I'm just going to show you a little bit what I got. School lunches. Kids have got a regatta, so there's stuff to be baked and stuff for them to take. Wraps, ice cream. I got this for the first time. I did buy butter as well, but I just bought one butter, which is way down there by those bananas, and one of these for baking. I just can't really afford to spend $8 on baking butter. I'm not going to go through every single thing. I just thought I'd show you a wee bit. This is what $264.50 gets. The cupboards will be well stocked. We will eat well. There's a lot of meat in there. I actually bought a roast, like a red meat roast, which we haven't had. I don't eat meat, but the kids and my husband have not had a proper roast for a very, very long time. I've got mince. I bought fish fingers and some chicken thighs, 8 chicken thighs. There's some mushrooms, there's some apricots in some of those bags. Yeah, so what am I going to do? I've spent all the money, so what's my plan? Because we need money for other things. So we have a budget of $1,000 per week. I've spent my $265, which is the kind of discretionary spending. I've spent it all. So let's zip over and see how I'm going to make this budget work. See you soon. You guys are wondering how I fixed this money mistake. I have taken my discretionary spending, the things that I can do something about, and spent it all on groceries. And I guess this is the thing with life, right? You do what you need to do, and then you kind of sometimes work backwards. And that's what I'm doing on this occasion. So I've spent all the money. I don't think it's a disaster. I think it's okay. I needed to do a big shop. I've done a big shop. I spent my $264.50. And I thought I'd just go through with you how I kind of correct that, like how I make it work within our weekly budget. So if you've watched before, you'll know my weekly budget is just $1,000. We're a family of 4, a mum, a dad, and 2 teenage kids, 2 really active teenage kids who need good nutrition and healthy food, which in New Zealand is more expensive than buying junk food. So that's just the way it is. I'm not here to bemoan that. That's just the situation. If you're not from New Zealand, you might think it's, I don't know, cheaper to buy an apple than it is to buy a bag of Burger Rings. It's in fact probably about the same price. For an entire packet of chips, you can get them for about $1 if they're on sale. An apple, sometimes also $1. So it can be tricky for families. So what I've done, I'm going to write it all down. I'm going to show you on my screen. I'm very low tech. If this is the first time you're joining me, I love all things that are frugal so that I can live a really good life. So for me, the aim is not to spend as little as possible so that I have big piles of money that I can swim through in my old age. It's so that I can live the life that I want. And we are very, very fortunate that we're living such an awesome life at the moment. We are all so very happy. And I just want to share how we're kind of making that happen on small amounts of money. So I start off, I've got my $1,000, right? That's my weekly budget. We have to, if we don't stick to our $1,000 weekly budget, we're not going to be able to retire early, and that is one of our big aims. So $1,000, and I've spent, let's just say $265, because I don't have a 50 cent with me. That just goes straight into the change jar. So that leaves me $735 left. So what do? Okay, so I've got a few things that I kind of envelopes, but only online. And this is what I have to do with them. So I'm going to just write down what I've got and show you guys. You know, it's not a secret. So emergency fund, we have a fully funded emergency fund, and we also have these two other emergency funds that we're trying to build up. So I'm trying to build an online emergency fund of $1,000, and I'm also trying to build a cash buffer of $1,000, and that will hopefully prevent us from having to use our real emergency fund. I broke into that a few times last year for some big things, and I don't want to do that again. So my emergency fund that I'm just slowly kind of putting together online has got $453.18. Our bills account, now that covers everything: our electricity, our firewood, insurances, anything like that comes out of just this generic bills account. And inside that account I've got $2,043.89. Rates account, this has got $1.30 in it, and that's because I have just paid the rates. Double glazing, so I have an account that I generally put $20 a week into, and that's for our last lot of double glazing that we need to get done at our house, and that's got $200 in it. Then I've got a things that break account, and that could be anything like car repair, or it could be if the washing machine goes, anything like that. It's not really an emergency because we can assume that things that are electronic will eventually break, right? So that's why I'm starting this new sinking fund. I haven't had something like that before. That's got $230 in it. And then house maintenance, that has only got $20 in it. And then I've got the rowing account and the school fees account. So this is just one big lump for both the kids. And this is not for this year, 2026. This is the beginning for the year after, 2027. And in that account, I've got $2,977.66. And then I do have a general account that just has a few dollars in it. That's just kind of left over. And if that's still there and I haven't needed to, I don't know, if there's something that I just haven't thought of or that I forgot, if that's still there, then I put that into the emergency fund. So it's only ever a few dollars, but I just like to kind of keep it tidy. So that's where I'm at. So that's what I look at. I go, okay, this is the money I've got already. What can I do without putting money towards this week? So that's how I'm trying to correct my mistake. So I can't have no money to cash stuff into my envelopes. That won't work. So I need to have some money for that. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going 265 and I'm going to make that up to 500. So I'm actually taking $235 in cash. Oops. And now I'm taking my 735 minus 235, so that's leaving me 500. I'm just going to do this here just to make it easy for you. Don't know how tidy that is. So that's what I'm spending. Okay, got that? So I'm going to take $235 and I'm going to stuff that, like once we've finished chit-chatting about how I'm fixing my mistake. So that's going to go into those envelopes because I can't afford to put nothing in there because they're not that flush. Like if there were thousands of dollars in there, it wouldn't matter. I just wouldn't bother for this week. But there's not thousands of dollars, so I do need to make sure I'm putting money in there. So that leaves me with $500 left over. Where did I put my $500? Okay, so with my $500, there were two things I had to do. I had to put $345 into the school/rowing fund. If I don't do that, I will not have enough money to pay for that. That's a priority for our family. 9 and 10, so 5. So that left me $155. Next thing I had to do was rates. So I've just paid the rates, but I previously hadn't paid the rates when I made this mistake, so that's why it's a bit out of whack. So I have to put $123 in every week, or else I won't have the right amount of money for rates. So minus 123, that left me $32 left over. So I prioritise. I mean, what are the things I must pay for? Part of that was I need some cash for my binders, and the other part was what of my online funds must I pay? I won't be able to make up the school fees if I don't put that money away every week, nor will I be able to make up the rates. So that's why I chose those two things. Double glazing, well, that's a thing that we will do when we've got the money. So that just ticks along. When we've got enough money to do the next lot of windows, the last lot of windows, we'll do them. House maintenance, I can't say that's not a priority because we live in a very old house, over 100 years old, and there is always something to do in an old house like this. So coming up, we will need some weatherboards replaced. So that's something that we do need to pay for. But it's also something that I can skip for a week because we can live without the weatherboard being replaced. The bills is pretty good. That's got over $2,000. I'm overpaying with the amount that I set aside each week for bills, and that's because I'm expecting all the bills to go up this year. So when I did my calculations, I increased it. So that's more than I'm currently getting charged. But I increased everything: internet, I increased insurance, I increased the cost of power, everything. I increased it all. And then that's what I'm paying in, and then hopefully that's enough of a buffer so that when it does increase, or it increases more than I expect, we've got the money there, for what we need. So with my $32, what did I do? I just put it into the bills account. So I want to spend every single dollar. So it's not much, but it's something. So that's how I fixed my initial problem. So hopefully that makes sense, and you can see how I've gone about kind of sorting this all out. Let's do a bit of cash stuffing. So that's what I am going to do now. You can see I'm doing a bit of a different format for my video, and you might wonder why I'm doing that. And let me tell you, it's because I've lost my selfie stick. So I am super low tech. If you've watched me before, you'll know I don't have a smartphone. But I do have an iPod, and I record this on my iPod, and normally I have a selfie stick, and I stick the iPod into the selfie stick. It was actually a holiday prize my daughter won about, I don't know, before COVID. When was that? So like 6 years ago or something. She won that and kept hold of it, and then when it was in a pile to go to the second-hand shop, because she had nothing really to use it with, I don't know why, but I kept it, and then I have used it for all these YouTube videos. So I can't find that. So I now have my iPod stacked up on a couple of food containers. I wish I could take a photo, but I can't because I do that on my iPod. I've got 2 food containers, then I've got my iPod, and I'm holding it in place with a roll of elastoplast tape. So that's how I'm doing it. Hopefully it's all right and you enjoy the format. My kitchen is looking very clean because I've spent the entire day cleaning it, like everything, up with the duster, cleaning all, like the silver thing that's on top of the tiles, like absolutely everything. It's had a very, very good clean. Mopped floors. Yeah, very happy. Yeah, it looks nice. Unfortunately, we're going to cook dinner and then it's not going to look nice anymore, is it? Okay, so this should be my 235. Let me just see if I've got any smaller notes for some of these 50s, because I don't know that I will be using. Okay, so there's 60. I'll take one of those and one of those. Sorry, this is something I could have done earlier. Being busy. I might just quickly go through this one as well, if you guys don't mind waiting for just a tick. I still haven't made these nice. Honestly, I really want to, and every time I open them I think, oh my goodness, I still haven't done that job. But it's not actually helped me to do that job. Got a lot of 5s in there. So that's $20 worth of 5s. Let's pop that in. And let's do one of these 50s for one of those. Okay, that should be enough. So I have only $30 less than what I would normally be using to stuff, but I don't have to pay for groceries out of this. So it's actually quite a nice way to kind of get a wee bit ahead. Just, you know, budgets, I won't say they're there to be broken, because mostly you have to stick to it if you want to have money left over at the end of the year, or you want to be able to pay your bills. But every now and then, a little rejig, if you're otherwise quite disciplined, I think, you know, helps out a lot. So it is all messy. Okie doke, done. So let's stuff the 235. Food doesn't have to have any money, so that'll get nothing. Bikes, we've had quite a few things to pay for with bikes as we've got ready for the new school term. So new school year in New Zealand, we have our big summer holidays over Christmas time, because that's when it's summer here. Although in saying that, it has rained torrentially a lot of the summer. But the kids have still been off on holiday, and it has still been nice. That's why I've had to do so much housework today. My husband's been out doing the garden, because we've been away for so many weeks over the summer. Everything's just got away on us. Like tomatoes were like a forest. The house hadn't had a, you know, we try and water blast our house once a year. Hadn't done that. We're just, yeah, it all got away on us. But we're getting back on track now. So bikes, I am going to give them 30. So that gives me 75. Oh no, sorry, that's a lie. That gives me 175. That's better. Petrol, my husband and I are making a real effort to ride. Well, I don't have to make a real effort to ride my bike. I ride my bike every day. I should say my husband's making a real effort to ride his bike more rather than take the easier option of the car. So I'm just putting in $20, so that means we're only using that car when we really need to. Tickets and fun, there's $5 left over there from our last lot of fun, and I think I'll just put in the 20. If I have any money left over at the end, I'm going to go back and put some money in this. The garden's just, you know, ticking along. It's only got 15, but I'm going to give it another 15. There are definitely a few berry plants I'd like to buy when the time is right. I don't really need fruit trees per se, but I'd like some berry plants. Giving, that's got 100. Let's do 5. If I do 5 every week, that's pretty much enough. My husband hasn't been away in January for his work travel, and he doesn't have to go away in February either. So I'm feeling very lucky about that, but it will come around quick. So I can't, you know, give tiny amounts all the time. So he needs a couple of $100. That's halfway, and we've got the rest of the month. We're only at the beginning of February. The rest of the month we'll sort it. We'll get it sorted. Oops. And the kids' pocket money. So they're getting 20 a week. Might have to swap them out for some more 5s once their envelopes are looking full. So with our kids, you'll know, I've said it heaps of times, I don't know if you want to hear it again or if you haven't heard it before, if you knew, but our kids, they invest half of everything they make. I give them $20 a week, and they have to put money on their bus card with that. If they have like a friend thing that they want to do, like go to the movies or whatever, they'll pay for it out of that. If they want something extra clothing wise, they would also pay for it themselves. They also have part-time jobs, and they invest 50% of the money they personally earn into an online Sharesies account. So I guess the aim is for them to be somewhat comfortable financially. I don't know if wealthy is the goal, but definitely comfortable. Definitely want my kids to be able to get into a house when the time is right for them. I don't want them to have to wait for a long, long time, trying to, battle for a deposit and that kind of thing. I want them to be in a position when they want to do that, I want them to be able to do it. Okay, so in animals and grooming, so I guess that's anything related to our animals. If we need dog food, chicken food, if the dog needed to go to the vet, if anything related to an animal, this is where we take it from, as long as it wasn't a massive expense. If it was something, an emergency, then that would probably come from our emergency fund. Hopefully from the cash emergency fund, if I can get that up to $1,000. So that's 120, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 180. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's put that in there. So I'm just putting in 10. So $190. If that had $500 in it, I'd be quite comfortable not to keep adding to it. But we're not there yet. So I went to the dentist, and I think when I last was looking at these envelopes, I said to you guys that it will probably be just shy of $400, and that was pretty much correct. So let's see what I've got left. 120, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $205. $205. So let's make that 220. So $15 in there today. This is celebration, so this is everything: Christmas, Easter, birthdays, what have you. It's only $20 in there. I'll give it 30. I kind of want to push the boat out. Let's go 40. And this is just for kids' clothes / shoes. So they would probably need a new pair of like running shoes, sports shoes, whatever, each year. So I just want to make sure I've got money. I don't expect them to buy that stuff. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 150, 160. So that's kind of like one pair done. Oh, and I've got $15 left over. I am feeling flush. So I'm going to go back into the, the fun money before I do the emergency fund, because we have people coming over tomorrow night for dinner. I've got all the barbecue food. I've got buns to make burgers, got sausages, we've got heaps of stuff for salads. Here, I'll show you. This is just my cherry tomato haul from this morning. So we've got, that's actually a strawberry, not cherry tomato, but we've got tons of fruit and veggie kind of things happening in the garden at the moment. And we have got some soft drinks, and I do have some gin and tonics, but I thought I should buy a bottle of wine for dinner. So there's only $20 in there, and probably need 25. So I'll pop that in there. Yay. Let me know in the comments below how you guys get out of, a pickle with your budget, if you've made a bit of an error or it's not gone exactly to plan. I'd love to hear what techniques you guys use to sort of fix it or sort it out. The other thing I was thinking, and let me know if you're still watching, thank you. If you're liking and subscribing, double thank you, really appreciate that. Yeah, I would love to grow my YouTube channel. I would love it to be more popular. I'm not quite sure what to do because I don't know, I don't really understand the algorithms, or yeah, I kind of don't understand YouTube at all. I just, I don't tell anyone that I do this, so it's just every person that's ever subscribed is just someone that has found it, or their friend has recommended it, or I don't know, the algorithm has put it in front of them. I don't know why they've done that, or you know, like how it's all happened. It's just happened. So it's been like a mystery to me. I'd love to understand it more. If anyone understands YouTube, feel free to write in the comments below and let me know what I should do. Okie doke. So emergency fund, I've got 100 there. I've got 20, 40, 50. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So I've got 250, 260. So I'm just going to put in 10. And the reason I write these down rather than have these written up and then kind of crossing it off is because it's a push to put money in this emergency fund. You know, like I know we're safe and covered because we have our main emergency fund, and this is just really what's left over, what I can squeeze out of the budget to kind of make it work. So, oops, it doesn't go in there. So that's it for me. Time for me to go and cook tea. Get on with the evening now. The sun's going down, so I might be able to get a little bit more gardening done because it's been very hot today, so I kind of gave up and came inside to do my housework jobs. I hope you guys found that helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I look forward to catching up with you guys next time. Bye for now.